Hi, welcome to ShowMeTheCurry.com. I'm Mithai.
I'm Anuja, and today we're going to show you how to make chewy walnut and basin burfis. Now, this recipe was given to me by Anjana Didi. Thank you so much for this recipe. It's super easy and super delicious.
Yep.
So let's get started.
Right.
So we're going to take a pan over here. It's better to take a non-stick because it's just easier to mix things around.
Absolutely.
We're going to add 4 tablespoons of oil. We're using canola oil, and we're going to use 4 tablespoons of butter, unsalted butter.
Now, if you want to use only butter, that's absolutely fine. It's 8 tablespoons either way. Only oil, only butter, only ghee or a mixture of oil and ghee. Basically, you need that fat. 8 tablespoons of it, so you can mix and match to however you like.
Yeah, it is burfi, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm going to take it to the stove and allow the oil to heat up and the butter to melt, and I will see you there.
Okay. So for this recipe, we're using besan or chickpea flour, and we're going to use about 2.5 cups of it. Now, chickpea flour is notorious for having little lumps in there. So what we're going to do is just pre-sift it so it's nice and smooth. And we have a sifter like this, but if you have the one that is flat, you can use that any which way, but we need a fine powder.
The butter has melted and the oil and the butter have both actually heated up. So we're going to add in the sifted basin, and we're going to now roast the basin. We're going to keep moving it around till we get a wonderful aroma. And the flame is actually on a very low because I want control over it. I don't want it to burn. So while we're roasting it, there's still like little balls being formed, and you want to kind of try and break them down. So here's a little trick. You take a steel katori or any kind of katori or flat surface and just kind of push it in so that it just helps break all those balls.
So I have about a 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom seeds in my mortar and pestle, and I'm just going to crush them down so that we can add in later. Now, a lot of these spices, they taste wonderful right when you freshly crush them. Things that stay up on your spice shelf for like months and months and months or years sometimes, they lose all their flavor. So it's best to keep them whole and then crush them when you need it.
So now chickpea flour, it tends to burn really fast. So that's the reason why we are constantly stirring it, moving it around, make sure no part of the chickpea flour is like stuck at the bottom. So it's been about 15 minutes, and you can see the colors changing slightly, and the place is smelling so good. Unbelievable. Either you can turn off the flame at this point, or you can keep it to really, really low simmer, which we're going to do on a very low simmer. We're going to add 1 cup of chopped walnuts. You can add in, powdered if you like, but we like the little texture. I'm going to mix it in.
And here's the 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom.
Mix it in. Make sure that mixes in really well. At this point, we're going to add in a 14-ounce can of condensed milk.
And it's a sweetened condensed milk, so it's already got the sugar in there. No need to add more.
And I'm going to quickly mix it in. And once it incorporates well, it's all mixed in, I'm going to turn off the flame.
And I have a little tray here, flat baking tray, and either you can lightly oil it or butter it, or we've got a piece of parchment paper on here so it doesn't stick.
And I'm just going to pour it into it.
So we put another piece of parchment paper over the top, and we have our katori again. I'm just going to smooth it out.
Now this is a process that has to be done really fast, and it is a little hot. So a lot of people like to put work, the silver paper. You can take this off, put the work and let it set, or you can just leave it like this, and once it sets, both sides peel off easily. You can cut it at that time. So I think we're going to leave it on. We're going to put it in the fridge for about 15-20 minutes. We're going to remove the parchment paper.
If you have a pizza cutter or if you have a pastry dough cutter, something like this will work.
Or even a knife. Really.
Yes, even a knife. So usually burfis are in diamond shapes, but there's no hard and fast rule. So if you want to make squares, you can. That's fine too. If you want to try diamonds, then you can. Just smoothly goes across. So we cut it at an angle. Now we're going to cut straight, and that's going to give us our diamonds. But I'm going to smoothen out the edge first so we get a nice even shape. Now there'll be scraps at the end, which you just have to eat because what are you going to do with them? You can't serve them.
Really? Are you sure I can eat?
Yeah. So enjoy this delicious, chewy walnut and basin burfi, and join us again on another episode of ShowMeTheCurry.com.
Adding a pinch of spice to your life.